Matthew, I've just arrived at one of the Blackthorn thickets here at High Ash Farm. A few years ago, there were nightingales singing not far from where I'm standing in May, and that's long in the past, a different time of year as well. And blackthorn has the scientific name, as many of the plum species do, of prunus at the beginning of its name. And many of our plums that we enjoy, things like Victorias and Czars, are closely related to this plant. The blackthorn's actually called Prunus spinosa, which means the spiny plum. And I have never, all the years I've been here at High Ash Farm, seen a crop of sloes like this. Again, I've got a little camera in my hand and I'm just holding it up across the top of this thicket because blackthorn, once you have one planted, it will sucker everywhere. Little shoots come out, and I've planted lots out on the farm in the new hedgerows, and already it's trying to creep out from where I planted it into the pastures. So it's a plum that spreads itself, if you like, as well as being impenetrable, covered in spines. So the shrub in front of me, which is about 12 foot tall, is just it's purpley blue in colour. The little sloes have a kind of bloom on them, which shows that they're ripe and ready and just going to welcome the thrushes. They're actually not called berries, they're called drupes, because of the stone inside, a fleshy case, and absolutely stunning to look at, the colours here. And just right close to me, I've just got the little camera, we're going to have a close-up look now, and you can see that little bloom on them, which shows they're just ready for picking. But at High Ash Farm, the sloes are for the birds. I do occasionally make a bit of sloe gin. I might bring some into the studio nearer the festive season, but it's just something to enjoy, and I have never ever seen a crop like this before. I suppose there's best part of 1/4 of a ton of sloes in the shrubbery in front of me. It's just astonishing. The branches are way down. I'm looking at a branch just up on top there of the shrubbery. It's about 2.5, 3 meters up in the air, and there must be 2-3 kilos on a single stem. It's just bent over like a fishing rod with a very large trout on the end of it. An amazing sight, and just enjoying all the fruits that this dry summer has brought. It's an amazing time of year, and the colours and just the design of nature. The leaves all drop off these sloe plants or blackthorn plants in the next week or two, and that exposes this year's fruit even more to welcome our winter visiting birds and our residents as well. And many that don't get eaten by birds drop onto the woodland floor, in this case the dense shrubbery, and of course they feed all the small mammals as well. And although some people don't like mice and things like that, but they do like the owls, then you can't have one without the other. And so this is the foundation, and it's the time of year that plants like blackthorn celebrate. It's their fruiting time, and just about to go to sleep for the winter when all the leaves drop off, the sap comes out of the plants, and nature then prepares itself. So winter and autumn are just as important as spring and summer, the seasons that most of us enjoy. But for me, it's a celebration all the year round. Just wonderful. Oh, I just wish you could join me if you weren't here to look at this amazing sight of all these sloes high up. They're just out of reach for me, but not for the birds. And if they drop on the ground, all those small mammals can enjoy this over the winter months. An amazing, amazing sight.